It was the weekend, and we foolishly decided, hey, let's go get some shit at the mall. So that was stupid.
Yeah, it was bad.
Here's the thing about the mall, here locally anyway, it sucks.
It's terrible.
Always has sucked, will always suck, because all it is clothes. However, people still go to it because we live in a literal desert of everything, including culture. So that's a place to go,
Something
right?
to do.
So we avoid the mall on weekends, but we figured it was okay because it's, the corona thing's going on. So it's not going to be as populated.
It's kind of late.
Lo and behold, it was populated to shit. And to make it worse, now people are lining up in queues to go into lame-ass spots. Now, I had a goal in mind already. So I was like, I'm going to go in, zip out, and I'm done, I'm going to get that one thing and get out. But I even told you, dude, you get down. You're like, no, I'll stay in the car. I'm like, it's going to be hot. And, yeah, I mean, I lasted longer than I was supposed to. So I go in, man. And outside, in case you're wondering where, it's the Think Geek, which is pretty pathetic. But they have a thing that I wanted. I already knew what it was. I had scouted it. I had sent out my Conan the Barbarian like scout with his fuzzy head and big ass handlebar mustache, and he stood on a rock and he looked around and he said, there it is. I knew it was there. I was just gonna zip in and out and get it. Alright? But I had to get into a little line.
Yeah, homie.
So I was like, fuck. So I'm in a line behind approximately 10 million people, give or take, right? And here's the thing. This line is composed of not single people waiting, but, duos mostly. Couples, friends, and families at times. And the families are like 4, sometimes 5 people. And the maximum capacity of people they're allowing in the store are 5 at a time.
Yeah.
All right, one goes in, one goes out, etc., right? It makes sense. Except that people have decided that they're not going to go in unless they go in with who they're with.
This is a thing in where we're at, by the way. Like, someone can't go out alone to get a freaking egg basket.
Yeah.
That's the thing, egg baskets, right?
Sure.
Instead, they take their entire freaking family tree
Yeah.
and just stand in the middle of a freaking aisle like heathens.
Yeah, dude, and this was an issue because we had a deadline. This place was going to close at 7. It was literally an hour. I'm in a queue that's taking 10 decades to move 1 inch. So I'm like, I got to get out of this fucking queue and go take you to a place that's going to close within the hour too to get the shit you need. So I'm like, fucking shit, man. So I'm in the stank-ass line, and this is when I noticed I'm in the line, and a lot of people are next to each other rather than behind each other. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be a thing. So I'm now thinking, is the guy letting people in counting pairs as one? Because if not, this sucks already. And when I sucks, I mean my freaking sweaty balls. As it turns out, the first thing that happens, one person that was actually there by herself leaves the store, and the guy visibly asks the duo that's next, 1 or 2, and they're like, we're together. And then he's like, well, one of you can come in, and they refuse to unless they're together. And I'm like, what is this?
Stinky!
So I'm like irritated at this point, and I don't want to be one of those guys that makes a big deal, but I'm on a time frame here, and that just sucks. Like, really? You can't just go in one at a time and get this over with? What the fuck? There's an entire line behind you, man. So I very audibly go, come on, man. What is that?
Yeah.
So they know that this is irritating, and I'm like, this sucks. So anyway, finally somebody else leaves, and this duo goes in, all right? So the duo goes in, and the next person in line is a family. 2 moms, or I should say not family, but 4 people that are together. It's 2 moms and their respective kids, and they're together as a unit.
And let me tell you something. I saw one of these kids. Homie was hella annoying looking.
Yeah, like, I'm not... Look, kids are kids, and kids are going to behave the way they do, but that doesn't mean they don't deserve some hate every now and then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And this kid, just by looking at him, you're like, this is a piece of shit
visually,
kid.
It's garbage.
So I'm looking at this fucking annoying turd of a kid, and I'm like, this guy's going to suck balls. I already know this. I'm feeling it in my bones, right? And sure enough, there's 5 people in the store, right? That duo that just went in left because they saw nothing immediately and left. So now there's 2 slots in the store. Technically, this little group of 4, which is, by the way, composed of one mom with her kid and another mom with her kid. One mom and her kid could go in, but they refuse to go in unless they're together. And since they're next in line, that means we have to wait for 4 people to leave now. And I'm like, this doesn't make sense.
No.
This system sucks my nut. So I get out of line and I go up in front of them and I'm like, hey, look, man, I'm just one guy. Everybody else is a pair here. I'm one guy. Can I just go in and get what I got to get? There's 1 spot available. Or actually 2 spots, because there was a couple that left. And these 4 are wanting to go in, you know? So I'm like, can I just go in, get my shit, and get out? And he's like, you know, he's in a spot. I don't blame him. You know, he doesn't want people to be pissed off and shit. I'm not yelling at him, mind you. But I'm like, can I just do this real quick? And the lady, everybody else was like, whatever, you know, I don't care. The ladies and their respective hideous children are all screeching all of a sudden, like, nah, I was here first, this and that. I'm like, oh, shut up.
Gruesome.
So I'm like,
you can't play the I was here first card if you refuse to go in.
If you refuse to go in, yeah. Yes. So I'm like, really? And they're like, just get back in line, this and that. And I'm like, So I just bit my tongue because, you know, of course, anything can send me back to fucking prison. Because they're not going to believe anybody but anybody pointing at the big raging weirdo.
I got to ask, how close were you to murking?
I was close to slapping a kid. Let me just say that. But
why the kid?
I don't know. He's annoying looking. He's one of those annoying looking kids. But anyway,
his face,
I get back in line.
His face sucks.
Yeah, his face, you saw him. His face sucked.
Because half of it was covered and I was still like, damn, that face, homie.
Yeah, it's not good. Face. But anyway, I get back in line, and behind that group of 4, the two moms and the 2 kids, are another duo of friends and another duo of friends, and then me. And I asked the duo in front of me, I'm like, hey, man, I was like, I don't mean to be out of line, man, but I just really want to zip in and out, you know? And he's like, nah, man, that's cool. I understand, you know? All right, cool. They're cool. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't, like, tripping too much, you know? So I was like, fuck, man, this sucks. So, yeah, we wait endless amount, because in those types of stores, people browse forever. Because there's just tons of stuff, you know? And, of course, by the way, the people that are browsing inside, they don't buy shit.
Yes.
So they leave, and eventually there's 4 spots, and finally this group of heathens decides to fucking clomp their way inside. And they go in, now we move up, and I'm like, this is a thing, right? Like, this sucks, right? Am I the only one that's thinking this sucks? And I turn to the guy behind me, and I'm like, dude, you're by yourself, right? And he's like, yeah, there was a guy that was by himself behind me. I'm like, am I tripping, or does this suck balls? And he's like, yeah, it's pretty bad, man. I'm like, all right. I'm just checking here. The hell is this? What is this? You know?
I gotta ask, were you this loud?
Yes, I was fucking annoyed, dude. I was fucking annoyed. I was literally going, what is this? And there were some people that, you know, how malls have like massage chairs and shit. Yeah. There were some people sitting there looking at me like, what is this? I must have looked like an idiot Karen. Yeah. But I was like fucking pissed, dude. Because as I'm like, what is this? Questioning the logic of this queue, I look in the store because it's just big plate windows. And lo and behold, this group of heathens that's been let in, these 2 moms and the 2 kids, are just running around. Well, the kids mainly are just running around. Writhing on the floors. Screaming, grabbing and touching everything, hopping up and down. And don't get me wrong, these aren't little kids, like 5 and down, I'm okay. Yeah,
they're like over 10 maybe.
Yeah, this was like 10, 11, 12 year old
There was one that was a little younger, but...
Yeah. So these are not tiny kids. There's no reason why they should be running around like idiots. And they're just doing... Their moms are just like poking ass, dude. Like, what is this? Everywhere all around the store, blah, 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 blah. Then, you know, that's 4 of them. There's still the one person that's browsing by themselves. He leaves. So now, theoretically, any one of the 4 people that are in front of me, and they're coupled up in duos, can go in, right? But then, against all fucking odds, the guy comes up and he's like, anybody want to go in? But he's referring to the next ones in line. And they're like, nah, we'll wait. What is this? At this point, I'm beyond despondent and hateful. I'm just like, why is this happening? this sucks balls, right? Am I fucking tripping here? Can somebody just go in by themselves already? You know, if it's not gonna be me, which apparently it's not the way this fucking line is run. What the fuck? And then, you know, the dudes in front of me are looking at me either like I'm crazy, so we're just gonna go along with him, or they actually agree. I don't know, but I'm like, what is this, right? So I look inside the store, and these idiot brats are going all over the place, and I'm just like livid, man. Like, why is this happening? Then, just as I'm fuming in my own hatred, I've kind of sunk into a shell of myself, right? I've just decided to build a wall, you know, around me, Roger fucking Waters style, and just, you know, get away from the situation. I hear the duo that's waiting in front, and at the front of the line, go, "What the fuck? Ah, what the hell?" And they're reacting to something, right?
Something gruesome.
And you know, though I was like in myself, I could see a commotion inside. So when they say that, I turn my eyes up, and I don't catch it at first, but what I do eventually catch is one of the moms taking that annoying looking kid out of the store, and she's going, "Adrián, why?" You know, in Spanish, mind you, "Adrián, ¿por qué?" And Adrián, apparently, annoying fucking flat top having kid, is being ushered out, and he's, dude, I've never seen someone grab their nuts and peace this hard. He was like, he was digging his claw into them, his harpy claw into them.
Ball busting himself.
Yeah, he was like, you could see like his nards and piece like through the fucking gaps in his fingers. He was grabbing his piece, squeezing it hard.
His loaf.
And she was like pulling at him, screaming at him, why? And that's when I realized, nay, verified with my very own orbs, which were not sheathed, that there was literal piss fucking helicoptering out of his in between his hands. Like, it was literally coming out of the fabric of his fucking clothes and like shooting out, you know, like,
shit, homie.
Like a fucking sprinkler, man, like a little sprinkler system. You know, he was grabbing his shit and it was just pouring out. And she like drags him along screaming, and he's leaving a trail of piss.
Oh.
At this point,
gruesome.
I am agog, first of all, but the people that are in the line begin to theorize and speculate, and I am kind of in line with what they were thinking. Clearly, look, I was in this line. These people were already in that line. Yeah. I waited a long time in that line, so they must have waited longer in that line. So this kid could have at any time gone, hey, I gotta go pee, and that's okay. But because he wanted to be in there so bad and he wanted to see the toys and be annoying, he decided to not say jack shit, and instead held his pee until he was in there and could hold it no longer, and he peed all over everything.
Shit, homie. You think he got his urine all over the shit?
Well, here's the thing, man. The guy inside had somehow not noticed yet. Once the kid was pulled out, I'm like, good. The duo can go in now. Yeah. Fuck the pee, I don't give a shit. Let him go in. I'll get closer to this fucking door. But at that point, the duo just stays there because there's piss all over the place. They probably don't want to step on it. I would be like, fuck that shit. I'm stepping on the pee. I'm getting the shit and I'm getting out. But no, apparently you have to stay in line, which is the way lines work. But in this case, they shouldn't have been. But anyway, yeah, the guy finally is like, what the fuck? There's pee everywhere. That's what was going on. Because who thinks that some dude is going to sprinkler fucking urine all over the fucking universe in their store, right? So anyway, this fucking guy's like, what the fuck? And this is
urine.
This is Think Geek. So they don't have fucking mops?
Yeah, who has mops?
Who has mops in the mall? Nobody does. So they literally have to buzz in a mop from God knows where. And in the meantime, they can't let anyone in.
Damn, so you have to wait for the urine to be clean?
Oh, by the way, they don't kick anyone out. So the other mom with her kid are still in there splashing piss everywhere because they're stepping all over it. And there's one person in there. They're like, what is this? Well, the other persons are employees. But there's urine everywhere is what I'm getting at here. And I'm like, what is this, man? Am I the only one saying this? Anyway,
they the only one that plays by the rules.
Yeah, man, that's where I was. Fucking, they finally get a mop up there, And you know when you see someone's mopping technique and you know it sucks?
Yeah.
Okay, that's me like almost all the time. You know? If you don't mop a specific way, all you're doing is spreading shit around.
You're right.
You're Ryan in this particular, you know? So this here kid fucking micturated upon every fucking inch of the store. And now the guy has just mopped with the same side. And there's no squeegee. There's no mop bucket to dip into. There's no chemicals. There's just a mop. And he's just spreading this fucking pee everywhere.
Dude.
Not flipping that bad boy over. Nathan. And I'm like, what is that? So anyway, the pee is finally finished being spread. And
That's actually more pee around now.
really, man. And finally the other mom decides, oh, my friend
Why
and
was
her...
Why?
Yeah, the other mom and her idiot kid.
If they were so insistent on being together, why wouldn't you freaking leave with
Exactly.
the freaking literal hose that's leaving?
I guess finally she decided these fuckers are not coming back, so they leave, buying nothing, by the way. They never bought anything, and they leave, and finally they decide to let people in. So they let in the two duos that were in front of me, and the guy looks at me, because I'm next, and he's like, you want to come in, man? It's just you. And I'm like, yes! I do want to come in. So they broke their little rule, basically. He sprays my hands because they're doing that whole spray your hands, whatever the thing. I go, I grab my shit. I'm in and out within a fucking minute, maybe, max. Trillisecond, really. And I'm out, dude. I'm in. I go reach the car. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so when you reach the car...
Well, keep in mind, I go in... Maybe a minute. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating here, but, I get the thing. I know where it is. I go to it. I grab it. I go up to pay. The guy, maybe like a minute and a half, the whole process. Because the guy does this whole shtick and whatever. For some reason, it takes a long time to do that. And I get out. Then I have to go down to the escalators, which are not working, by the way. And I climb down the escalators, go across a whole department store to get to you. So maybe a span of 5 minutes total.
Yeah.
To get to the car. By the time I get to the car, I'm about to tell you, dude, you got to hear what just happened. This shit sucks.
Yeah, you say there's Micturition and Merc mode.
Yeah. And you're like, oh, what the fuck? And as I'm backing out, coincidentally, there's the kid with his respective group of people. And I'm like, look at this kid. I'm going to tell you about this kid. And before I even told you the story, you're like, that kid sucks.
Yeah, his face, again, I don't want to shit on a kid, but this kid's face was pretty shit.
It's just what, we don't mean
it's just an annoying looking kid.
Yeah, we're not saying he was ugly, although he wasn't good to look at.
It's just, he's annoying.
There's some people, when you look at them, that you're like, damn, I want to punch that face.
Yeah, like you instantly know that guy sucks to be around.
This is one of those kids.
And apparently he does suck to be around, because... Unless you like freaking getting micturated upon, then he's the coolest.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna mict. Look, dude, I told you the story. Like,
What
sucks, man.
What I don't understand is when the homie came out, like you had already mentioned the mict, and I was like, that can't be the kid with the mict. I assumed you pissed yourself because this homie, his shorts weren't wet, and. If you pee yourself in public, you have like a freaking face of shame all the way home.
Yep.
This homie was like, he was just like, eh.
Yeah, he was just walking around like this, so chest all puffy.
I can only assume that this kid freaking mixed 25-8.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I'm hoping that the mom doesn't just carry around replacement shorts, because this guy be peeing everywhere. It definitely wasn't an illness type of thing. I don't know the kid, but the mere fact that this kid was running around and then all of a sudden he's grabbing his nuts, holding back what can only be described as a fucking Niagara Falls of piss. That tells me that kid held that shit in.
Yeah.
And anyway, but he was unflinching in his pride and having pissed, apparently. But here's the interesting part. Yeah. He wasn't wearing the pissed on shorts anymore. So either they replaced his shorts because they had some on hand, or more likely they just went and bought new shorts because them shits was shiny. And they weren't shiny with pee.
Mad shiny.
So
they must have bought some undies and shorts. I guess throwing the other ones out.
That's a quick purchase, though, man. Like 5-6 minutes max to purchase shorts. Really, to go change the...
Yeah, that's the thing. It was really fast. I mean, if it took you that little to get to the car.
I don't know. What the fuck. But this kid fucking blows ass.
Yeah, he does.
I've never seen that, man. Little piss coming out like in torrents between the fingers.
Dude.
And by the way, his reaction during the whole thing was like, whatever.
I'm peeing. That lands...
I'm peeing. The mom was like, what are you doing? You know?
I bet you this dude just freaking pisses everywhere.
I don't know, but he sucked, and I wanted to uppercut him into the stratosphere. Alas, he's a kid, and to do that, definitely get me locked up. So, there you go. That's my kid Mict, as in Micturating upon things story. This happened today. I hate that it happened.
Really, the biggest, like you said, you would when we talked about it earlier, you said that you would have even forgiven the Micting. It was more the freaking events leading up to the Micting.
Yeah. Look, a kid. Look, I'm not really this hot-headed in real life. I was today because this sucked my ass off. Like it licked hard.
Damn, dude, that's a lot of sucking.
Yeah, the Mict licked. Let me just say that. But usually I'm pretty calm and all that shit. But a kid pissing himself, it happens. You know what I'm saying? Kids shitting themselves. Or kids. That I get. I could have forgiven that. But the mere fact that this kid stood in this fucking line for ages, knowing damn well he had to fucking piss, and then that his parents insisted, or his parent and her friend insisted on going in together and refused to go in under normal circumstances, that the fact that he looked like a piece of shit annoying turd, you know,
he had a really annoying shirt color.
Yeah, just everything about him was annoying. All these circumstances together compounded into me wanting to fucking literally punt him off the second fucking floor. So that's what really pissed me off. But anyway, yeah, on top of the way people are like refusing to go in general.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Like, just go in one at a time, you dicks. You don't have to go in with your fucking friend.
I hate that about this area. It's like everywhere you go, every Walmart you go, the freaking entire
families,
like I said,
dude.
Entire family tree is just standing there. Freaking great grandparents freaking rolled out of the grave just to be there, freaking taking up the whole aisle. Like, what is that, homie?
Yeah,
just send one person in and get your shit.
We're Mexican.
Especially right now.
We're Mexican, and I don't know if this is a Mexican thing, but I've seen, it can't just be a Mexican thing. I've seen other people do it. But I noticed, like, there's a lot of Mexican people here, and Mexicans have big families, huge families. So when you say take your whole family out, it's literally like 10,000 people in one aisle, and all they got from the aisle was one packet of Kool-Aid. Yeah. And you're like, dude, what the fuck?
Why do you need this?
This sucks. You're blocking everything. I can't get through. Why couldn't one or two people just come into the fucking store? You gotta bring everybody with you? Sucks.
Then add freaking Micturition to the equation.
Yeah, add
fucking shit.
Durine to it. Yeah, man, I don't know what it is, but yeah. No, I have seen other people do it now that I think about it, you know, but so it's definitely a cross-cultural thing. It's just the fact that our people, Mexicans, just breed like bunnies. So they clog up the works, man. Like, fuck, leave your 1 million kids that are all dirty and have fucking lollipop stains all over them in the fucking car, man, or at home. I don't know, man. Shit. Definitely don't let them sprinkler all over everything with your fucking little penis. What did I say like that?
Penis.
Anyway, this fucking kid sucked my ass fucking dry, dude. I hate him. I want to punch him in the face. I hope I never encounter him ever, because right now I consider I would equate him to somebody that killed my mom. Like, that's how much I hate the guy.
Damn, homie.
Anyway, let us know what you think about the Mict kid. Hashtag stinky. We're out, guys. Hit like, share, subscribe. Go on and spit on everything.
What are you Micting?